What's going on, guys? It's Poison on here. Hope you guys are having a great day. And today is another Marvel video, but this is actually going to be my Marvel Iceberg video that I've been teasing in a lot of my videos. So I hope you guys enjoy. This actually took me like a month to make. So please make sure to like and subscribe and go ahead and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on an upload. I'm going to go ahead and put where you can skip to on screen because I am going to be explaining what exactly an iceberg is because a lot of people don't know what it is. So an iceberg video basically is you put up a topic and you talk about that topic extensively, and the deeper you go down in the iceberg, the more like deeper the topic gets. It doesn't have to be like scary or anything. I know that's really popular in icebergs for people to do like scary things, and it gets like more deeper and deeper and deeper. But in this case, we're just gonna go deeper in the sense of information of Marvel because I love Marvel as a game. And we're just gonna, hop straight into it. That's just a basic rundown on what an iceberg is, just a topic, and then you just talk about the more well-known things in the very top and the least known things at the very bottom. Okay, guys, at the very top of our iceberg in the level 1 category is When's Marvel. It's more pronounced When's Marvel, but this has been a cult classic for the Marvel community, and I feel like it's the more well-known thing. It's pretty funny. Like, there would be random events, right, and things that just don't have anything to pertain to Marvel, and you'll see a When's Marvel sign at Marvel's peak. That was the most amazing thing to see because it just shows our reach as a community, and it was just really cool. Like, I think there's like a clip out there where it's like a WWE thingy going on, and there's someone in the crowd with the When's Marvel sign, and it's been really cool to just be a part of everything and be a part of this community as a whole. Next in the level 1 category is I'm Gonna Take You for a Ride. This is the main menu music, not the main menu, but the character select music, and it's super duper catchy. So you always hear a lot of commentators reference it, and it's just one of the main things that makes Marvel just because of the catchiness of the soundtracks that we have. Up next, we have one of the things that actually pushed Marvel to its like main stardom is Curly Mustache, which is the image I put up on screen right there. It is a tournament made by Yipes and Michael Mendoza, and it's a pretty cool event, right? This is one of those events that had Marvel gain its main notoriety. I feel like there's a lot of things that made Marvel, and I'll get to a bit of those later. But this is one of the main things, and I can't thank Yipes enough for making this game as popular as he did. Up next in the level 1 category is something that arguably made Marvel just feel like Marvel. Marlon Pye's swag combos. This is an amazing thing, and he showed that you can have fun in this game, be super duper creative, and also be effective in being creative. And it was the most amazing stuff to see. I'd recommend you guys watch those videos. I believe Team Spooky has all of them. I don't really have like the rights to all those videos, but it's amazing to say the least. Honestly, you guys should check them out. Up next is Jackoman's favorite. It's Marvel, baby. Like, it was a very popular soundbite, and I couldn't really find much information on who said it and where it came from. But it is another cult phenomenon thing that we have in our community, like When's Marvel. It's Marvel baby, or Marvel baby, is one of the most like iconic quotes that has come out of our community. And the next thing we have here is Daywalker. Now this is more of an OG like meme that we had back in the day, and I literally had to type this out in notes just to like fully understand it. I believe somebody like way back when on Reddit like had said what Yipes meant by calling PR Balrog Daywalker, and let me read it out. WAP is an acronym standing for Unorganized Player. This is in old Marvel terminology to describe a player who is known for seemingly random gameplay. However, the WAP, or not WAP like the fucking dance, but like the UOP is a player who actually has solid fundamentals and wins a lot of games and with said crazy tactics. However, he critically fails against the top competition because his opness results in the most important drops and lack of overall strategy. Examples include Desmond Pinky from NVC2, MH Alucard during the first year of UMVC3, and current East Coast prodigy Bifu Winrich. And that's literally like what's in my notes that I saw on that Reddit video. It's basically just saying that, you know, PR Balrog is a daywalker, and that's basically what it means. Now the last thing on this level 1 part of the list is the most popular thing to come out of the FGC, which is the fighting game community. It's basically a face that Gutex made called Poggers, and the place it came from is he had like a YouTube series with Mike Ross, and it was them playing fighting games, and I believe Marvel did make an appearance on there sometimes, but basically that helped people come to our community more, just because that's where he was basically like the famous face of the community. And now we are in level 2, and the first thing in level 2 is Run It Back. This isn't something that is mainly to Marvel, but it is one of the things that Marvel has made popular. And this is basically saying, let's say you lose and you say, hey, let's run it back. That's basically saying, let's play again. Next thing up in level 2 is American Reset. This is a funny term that we had in the community, basically saying, you know how like the stereotype is that Americans are lazy? So basically what would happen is if you drop a combo and then instantly somehow get the hit afterwards, we call that an American Reset, and that's just some of our lingo that we have. Now, since we're on the topic of lingo, one of the main things also in Marvel that you will hear is happy birthday. That is a thing where if someone calls their assist and their main character gets hit with the assist, you know, the commentator would say happy birthday, and then if they do like a team hyper combo and they all get hit, all three of them, you'll say like Merry Christmas or something like that. That's just like a little bit of things that we kind of have as a community, like some of our lingo. Another part of our lingo is the 5 golden letters. People say that to reference just like perfect, like the word perfect, but it's PRFCT. Now, another term in the level 2 category is pop off. So it's basically also to the FGC, the fighting game community. It's basically when you like quite literally pop off, like you kind of like flex that you won, and like some people just yell and then just like throw their arms up in the air, and that's like a pop off. So that's basically it. And also some people take it more serious and get it in each other's faces, which is like makes for really entertaining content, but that's just basically what pop off means. Now, the next thing in the level 2 category is Wong factor. So if you guys don't know, Justin Wong is one of the main people in Marvel, right? People like call him Mr. Marvel himself, right? Like kind of like the Mr. Street Fighter version. Like, you know how like they call that to Daigo? But this is like our like main guy, you know? So basically what he would do is do some comebacks, and instead of saying like X factor, they would say Wong factor when he's doing a comeback, and it was the most amazing thing to see him coming back with Akuma. And while we're on the topic of Justin Wong, next on our list is He Goes Low. So there's like a meme that Justin Wong always goes low. Someone even made like a parody of Let It Go from Frozen and just dubbed themselves saying He Goes Low, because Justin Wong is notorious for going low. Now we're gonna go to somebody new. This is on F-Champ. So there's something funny that he would say is my Dormammu dog. Like he's like, oh, it's my Dormammu dog. And basically in the early years of Marvel, he would go off with his Dormammu team, and it was just amazing. And when that's one of the things he would say when he would pop off is like, oh, it's my Dormammu dog, look at my Dormammu. It was really funny. Next thing in level 2 is a TAC infinite. So this is basically a state that you put a enemy in. So basically after you do a TAC, if you do a hit stop, which is, you know, canceling the animation of your move at the very earliest frame and then adding a jump to it, usually that's what you usually do. It enables you to do a TAC infinite, and that is something that is a thing in our community, and surprisingly it hasn't been banned. It's one of those few things about like you normally you see an infinite and you think it's banned, but here in Marvel we welcome it because of the amount of skill it usually takes to pull these infinites off. Next up on the list is Dark Phoenix tech. So there's this character called Phoenix, and if she gets 5 bars and gets killed, she turns into Dark Phoenix, which makes her one of the most overpowered characters in all of gaming, at least in fighting games. And some characters in this game actually have some tech that you can do to get her right out of that transformation. I actually have some on my channel. You guys could go ahead and check that out in my Spider-Man tech and tutorials. But yeah, it's just one of those really hype things that we were able to see in tournament. Next on the list is Marvel terminology. So I'm just gonna go over like quick little things that we say, and I'm gonna say what they mean. TAC, Team Aerial Combo. THC, Team Hyper Combo. DHC, Delayed Hyper Combo. And what else is there? Hard tag, it's when you tag in to continue a combo, and raw tag is when you tag in, but you know, randomly. Second to the last thing in level 2 is plinking. So the way you do this, it's an action that you do. You see a lot of Marvel players do it because that's just the way to get around, unless you want to like wave dash or you have a character that has good movement like Wesker. So the way you do it is by pressing normal, or I believe you could also do it with special, and you cancel that animation of that move with a dash, and you basically repeat it over and over and over, so you could be zooming all across the screen. Last thing on level 2 is Salty Sweet. So this is a mini tournament that was held. I believe it was a tournament. I don't know if it was like friendlies or if it was a tournament. Someone could correct me in the comments. But Salty Sweet was this little thing you did after Evo, where they would be in a hotel room, they would stream, and yeah, a lot of people would be running sets right after Evo. So you'd get a lot of people that were salty, that were, you know, that couldn't make it out of pools, or you would actually get some veterans that are like 1 and they're just beating everybody. It was amazing. I would highly suggest for you guys to watch that on YouTube. I believe someone out there has all the clips compiled. Now the first thing in my level 3 is actually FGC villain. So there were 2 main villains. It was mainly F Champ, because he talked a lot of smack and he was good. And then there was Chris G, and he was just good just in general. I don't think he talked smack. And then maybe you could throw in Ryan LV. I'm a Ryan LV lover, so I don't consider him a villain. I actually kind of consider him as like as an underdog, because he came out of nowhere and started beating everybody. But yeah, those are the 2, maybe 3 main villains of our game. Next in level 3 is Assist to Me. This was a very popular series that I was in love with when I was younger. Like, keep in mind, I started playing this game like 7th grade going on 8th grade, and I'm now a sophomore in college. Or not a sophomore in college, I think I'm about to be a junior. And it's just, Assist Me was Maximilian Dude's series that he had on his channel, where he would get some cosplayers and he would have them be the character that he's doing a tutorial on it. And it was super duper nostalgic. And in the Marvel Lives tournament, it was amazing to see them come back, just to kind of like bring some nostalgia back into us. And the next entry in the list is Marvel Gods. So in every fighting game, usually people would say, oh, these are the gods of the game. And I'm gonna put something on screen right now to show you like who were the top players and you know, their earnings and everything. So yeah, the main gods in my opinion were like Chris G, Justin Wong. Kane Blue River was like a god slayer. Ryan LV definitely, Flocker, Ray and Filipino Champ. Those guys were always consistent. They're always consistent. But of course, a lot of them have like better matchups against each other, which just made everything really cool. Cause like, you know, you'll see Flocker doing really good against someone, but losing against somebody else. You know, like it was an amazing thing to see. This next entry is the snapback glitch. So there was this glitch with Nova. If you would chip somebody out, I think only chipping them works. I don't know if you could kill them with his like bubble super. So he would do that and then do the OTG and snap in like the other character after they have died. And then you'll just have 2 characters on screen. At first everyone was freaking out, losing their mind, like, oh no, is Marvel broken now? But it's really rare to do. I know Gamer put a video out way back when showing how to do like an 100% thing with the team apology ban, and he had like scroll on point and then like chipped it, and because you could do it with scroll also. but it's very, very few and far between. I don't think you guys should worry about that glitch, but I feel like it should have been on the list still. Next is the DLC glitch. This was a glitch that needed to be like hot fixed ASAP because it basically allowed you to get any DLC costume that you don't have. And I think the way it worked is like you needed to at least have one DLC for it to work. And it was a really cool glitch, but like I said, it got hot fixed really, really fast early on in the game. And it sucks because there's like, this game is broken, right? I mean, I think it's broken in a good way, but out of all the things they chose to patch, it was that, you know? But now, yeah, I feel like that still deserves to be in level 3 part of the list. Up next is something controversial. It is PS4 lag. Now, I've gotten used to the PS4 lag, and I've like tried switching to like PC Marvel, and it's just like I couldn't. And I know Chris G made a big deal about it because a lot of times he would like have issues with his combos. You can even look up a video. It's on YouTube, I believe, where he's like complaining about the PS4 lag and how like it messed up his gameplay, and it actually did cause him to lose quite a bit of matches when he did play on PS4. He was like one of the main advocates for not playing on PS4, but since it became a standard for our game, since the PS4 port is actually really good, a lot of people just got used to it and everyone started playing on PS4. At least for the majority of people played on PS4. Now the next entry is like a joke entry. I put combo notations. So you know, like how IFC Yipes, every time he would get a hit, he would make like you know, like, so it was really funny. Like if I was doing it right now, I'd be like you know, like I'd like do little things like that, and it was really funny. It's just one of those things that IFC Yipes did, and it made him like a better commentator. It was just really funny. It's like a Yipes thing, and every time he did it, it was really cool. And then the next entry on the list is actually Mango Sentinel. So this is something that IFC Yipes would call this skin in particular that's on screen, and it would be usually when Kane Blue River plays, and it was just funny. It always got a laugh out of everybody, and later on people modded in a character that was a port of MVC2 Sentinel, because you know he was really good, but they made them the Mango Sentinel color, which is really funny. Now the next entry on the list is actually deleted DLC. So let me go ahead and read off what I put here in my notes. Magneto had an alternate costume that was later removed due to it being modeled off of the official royal photograph of Spanish King Juan Carlos, and I'll go ahead and put a picture on screen. Spain wasn't too happy to see the ruler's official garb being used by the power-mad mutant dictator, and considered legal action. Though Marvel ended up not using the costume, they did continue to use the costume for Magneto throughout the House of M saga, which is a comic book a series. I actually would like to read that, but I don't really like know more on this topic other than what I've researched. Now next is one of my favorite entries, is Killer Kai. So Elverling made me convinced that the Marvel community was an anime. He would take off his shirt and showing his like built body. If he was behind on matches, like in the game, he would like make everybody hype when he would take off his shirt, and it would like kind of have this presence. Like people would kind of be intimidated, and then sometimes he would like come back, and people were like, "Oh, it's because he took off the shirt." Like it was really funny, and it was one of those amazing things we had in our community, and I'm so glad that we had Elverling in our community. And now we enter level 4. So level 4, we're gonna break it out with the Kubota escape. This is a tech where you can tag out your character from the stage to usually avoid chip or to mess up the other player in general. This is performed by having at least one dead character in your team. Then when the enemy uses a super, you hold down the assist button for the dead character and do the snapback input for the character that's alive, which would, you know, be your anchor, and it would make you literally hop off the screen, and then it'll make their super completely whiff. It was completely jank, and it like brought up a lot of issues because people didn't know, hey, should we keep this legal? Should it be like a form of tech? But very little people know how to do it. I'm gonna show a tutorial. I believe it's already playing on screen, But yeah, it's you could see how kind of overpowered it is. Next is two other jokes from IFC Yipes. I believe they're iconic. One of them being the dishwasher gloves. This is IFC Yipes making the connection between Doctor Strange's gloves and saying they look like dishwasher gloves. Then right after that, I have Jenny from the Block. You know, again another joke from IFC Yipes that he made for She-Hulk. It was really, really funny. Usually he would say that when he's like watching Combo Fiend, and he's like, Jenny from the Block is Jenny from the Block, and it's like it was really, really funny, and you know, it makes you just appreciate Yipes just that much more. Now, next is terminology that is a dark character. So usually you would say like Dark Phoenix, right? But then you could say, oh, it's a Dark Virgil, Dark Strider, Dark Sentinel. You know, dark, and then whatever character you want to say is just to say that, hey, they're going to make a comeback with X Factor 3. Next entry on the list is the Deadpool curly mustache quote. In the game, if Deadpool beats Magneto, he'll say, I just beat Mag freaking Nito, where's your curly mustache at? Referring to the curly mustache tournament that Yipes held. It's really, really cool when he breaks the fourth wall, but not only that, he like referenced a real life tournament, and it was just amazing. Next on the list is Dirt Nap teams. So X23 has a level 3 where she says Dirt Nap, or I think it's called Dirt Nap. She goes invisible and she basically like does an unblockable on you. This is just to say that your team is a 300% team. You don't let the other person play, so an Apology Man team would be called like a Dirt Nap team. It's basically a person's like version of saying like that they're not going to let you play, or like that's what type of team they have. Now the first thing to break out our level 5 in the Iceberg is a crossover cancel. So the way you do it is by, you know, doing the normal input for the crossover counter, which is just forward and an assist in block stun, and you could actually cancel it with Doctor Doom and a few other characters. I believe it's like Deadpool and Spider-Man can also do it. It's really cool stuff. Second entry in the level 5 is the Marduk shield, so you can actually choose who gets happy birthdayed in your team. And here I chose to have Deadpool get happy birthdayed, and right now I'm going to show another example of how you can like alter it. So I just basically have the person that's in the middle of the team, like in your secondary slot, they will always prioritize getting hit. And right now I'm going to fast forward it. Now, as you see, I have Ryu in the secondary slot. The first time around, you saw Deadpool get hit because he was in the middle. And then right now, I'm going to do an example of how the secondary character always gets hit. And this is going to be Ryu getting hit. Now, the next entry in the list is Disney licensing issues. Now, this doesn't really matter. I feel like a lot of people do know about this. So maybe its spot in level 5 is unjust, but at the same time, if you just play the game and don't really care about like, you know, licensing stuff, then like I understand that you wouldn't know this. Basically, it made so Disney lost the rights to certain Marvel characters, which made MVCI flop as bad as it did because it didn't give us like the option to have any mutants at all, and it was terrible. Now the next entry in level 5 is the Kaiser tech. So this is a tech where you input a movement special like Berserker Slash or Zero's like little mini, like not a teleport but his like dash, and you mash like forward heavy or back heavy to tech a grab in a situation where you normally wouldn't be able to. Like you shouldn't be able to tech a grab inside of a special move, but that's what Kaiser tech is. You basically Tiger Knee a movement special and mash heavy with a direction, you know, forward or back, and you are able to tech grabs while moving. Next entry in level 5 is actually one of my favorite entries. I wouldn't say it's my favorite entry, but I definitely learned more things in this new entry than I did before. So I call this entry Stage Shenanigans, and if you don't know, there's multiple little mini Easter eggs in every single stage. So the one that everybody knows is having Tron Bonne in the back of the stage in her own stage. And then if you are using her, or if someone's using her, she's not in the background. Another one is the Days of Future Past, showing the old characters from previous games. And then I believe that's Poison and her like henchman, but that might not be him. I don't know for sure. There's a Megatron in the back. You can see Sentinel there. And then here we have Daredevil. And another Easter egg coming up that is a main thing for me to know since I'm a Spider-Man player, this is like technically his stage, is the photographers actually follow you around the stage. Like depending on where you're dashing or what side of the stage you're on, they follow you and take pictures. And then also if you go into like a super jump, they jump up to where you are and also snap a picture. Now up next is another stage Easter egg. It's where the statue follows you in this stage. It's actually really cool. It's very tight on spacing. You have to be like at the very edge of the corner. And right now I'm going to show it on the other end. And I have to like dash all the way into the corner, and then he's going to turn his head. And I actually didn't know this. I was just testing every single stage to see like what Easter eggs they had. Now our last Easter egg we have is just Professor X chilling in the back of Danger Room. It's really cool that they added these little mini Easter eggs, and it just shows how much like time the developers put into this game. Now the next entry is actually a really funny entry. It's not really like meant to be taken like super seriously, but it was this like YouTuber way back in the day that like recorded on his phone, and he would like do tutorial videos, and they would be like the most basic tutorials, right? Like it would be like just like light, medium, heavy, special, and then like relaunch. And it was really funny. Crisis 20, wherever you are, like I appreciate you, just because like those videos actually got me to fully expand and actually get into Marvel. And yeah, that was I felt like that was worthy of level 5 because a lot of people wouldn't know about it. Next is Earth 30847. Now this is actually the name of the Earth that Marvel vs. Capcom takes place in, and I don't really know much about it. I need to check if they have comics on it, because if they do, I'm definitely like ordering all of them. But yeah, that Earth 30847 is the Marvel vs. Capcom universe. Next is the most scariest part of my list. I feel like if you're sitting down, you should stand right up, because we are talking about the Ghost of Marvel. Now, like Thorough tweeted this out, he kind of like, it got a lot of retweets, and he put, "Play a set against me," said the Ghost of Marvel, or 10 plagues will be unleashed upon Evo and the FGC. 2017 will be the death of all unborn mutants, or firstborn mutants, sorry, I misread. 2018, there shall be a horrible Marvel drought. 2019 is the fated to a swarm of crickets. And it's basically this guy that like pulled up to the stage in Evo as soon as Chris G won, with a controller being like, "Hey, play me." And it was really funny. Everyone had started making memes about him, right? Let me go ahead and look at the comments of like the YouTube video, or one of the popular YouTube videos where like they showed this. The first comment is like, "If only Chris G accepted the match, this timeline could have been avoided." Or, "He is a physical manifestation of the thuggery within each of us. He cannot truly be killed or defeated." Like it's funny stuff. Like this is like one of those like joke things that just became popular. And yeah, that's the Ghost of Marvel. And for the very last entry in my iceberg is Ken Wake Up. Now this is just like ending. I believe it's an arcade ending for Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was where Ken like had a dream, and Marvel vs. Capcom was that dream. So none of this ever happened, which I hope is a joke, you know? I mean, that wouldn't make sense for them to like continue afterwards if it was that, but it's just a funny thing the developers put in just to mess with our minds. Now with all that out of the way, guys, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I wouldn't be able to make it without you guys. I know we're barely starting out, but I'm telling you guys, I got a passion and I genuinely want to make this a living. So it would mean the world to me if you guys would like and subscribe, and along with that, hit the notification bell so you can never miss out on an upload. I will also be uploading more Warzone content and Rebirth Island content, so if you guys could check that out too, it would also mean the world to me, because I put in a lot of effort into these videos, and the biggest payoff is just for it to be entertaining to you guys. So I also want to hear from you guys on what you might want to see, whether it be Warzone related or Marvel related. I have made a lot of sacrifices to get you guys the best content I can possibly get you guys. Like there's times where I procrastinate on my studies and I'm like, you know what, let me make a Marvel video, like get some content out for them. I believe my most recent series of This Team Is Up for Grabs was all procrastination. Like, I would procrastinate on my studies, and I'd be like, yo, let me make a Marvel video of a team that I've like been messing with. Not only that, I remember like I actually needed to get a hold of a USB, and I barely got paid, but I'm like swamped in bills with like just helping my mom out and helping like my family out. And I went to go buy like a USB. I'm like, oh, like no biggie, right? Like it's a USB. It's not gonna cost a lot. But it was like the last one, and like I swiped it like in HEB, which is like this grocery store. Sorry if you guys hear my puppies in the background. It's like this grocery store where like here in Texas, and I just scanned and it said like $21. I'm like, wow, that's a USB. But then I was thinking, I'm like, hey, in the greater scheme of things, this is like amazing. God, the puppies are really going off in the background. I don't know if you guys could hear them. They're kind of far away from my mic, but not like super far away. No, yeah, but I scanned it, and then I ended up having like $4 left in my account. I'm like, this is the game changer. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.